just quickly ask you then, what should we be doing? I mean, is this, we're having a women's summit. I was listening to Senator Grace Benn. She said that we're having a women's summit. Men don't hold summit because in any case, they already have it. Is this actually going to help?
Yes.
In what way? And are we overrating the challenges that we face?
I think this is very timely. This is going to help. Because when we talk of the future, the world always has a date. There's always this date for the future. Before now, it was 2015. All the milestone attainments were placed on 2015. And now we talk of 2020. So what better time to start than now? 2020, they're advocating for 50-50 for women representation. But we seated here, I see Toyosi, and I'm like, yes, this is the future of Nigeria. This is the woman that's going to sit in the Senate someday. This is the woman that's going to drive advocacy, to a high level. And I see people like, I'm like, oh yeah, any woman that wants to go into ICT would be inspired. And we are the future. You yourself, Mopa, you're the future as a news person. So now we're talking of 2020, 50-50, but is that what the woman of the future wants? No. She actually wants to clear the divide between being man or woman. She wants to be seen for who she really is, what she has to offer. She wants a level playing ground as any man would have. And this woman of the future, really, who is she? Look at Omaumi here. She's fearless. She's vivacious. She actually takes the bull by the horn. You heard when she said, oh yes, she goes and asks the producers, so you want me to go out there or what? Or you have to project me. That's the woman of the future, So this is a timely summit because there are many women here that are sitting down, that have daughters, young ladies here that are going to hear us out. And yes, they'll go home and they'll be inspired and know that by 2020, even though they're offering us 50-50, who says it can be 60-50 if we're better than the men? You understand? So that's why
60-50 will be 110, right? But in Camp Delib, I was just going to ask you, you had a totally different experience. Boys and girls, roles were differentiated. Would you advocate that sort of upbringing? Or would you say it should be different?
From my experience, I can only say that it was positive because I never thought, oh, the boys are better or the girls are better. It was something that if you're good, you're good. Excellence stands out regardless of who you are, where you are. If you go to China and you want to be excellent, you can be, as long as you pursue the excellence. They say if you want something so bad, like you want it as much as you want to breathe, that is when you will be excellent at what you do. And I think that if we pursue whatever it is that we want to do that way, then we will stand out. There are people who tell me, oh, you stepped out of the shadow of your father because my father is really big in ICT. And I say, first of all, I never saw a shadow. Because to me, that's my dad. He's an amazing man. He's my inspiration. He's the one that actually got me into ICT, a very male-dominated industry. But there was no point where I felt I need to compete with him or stand out or anything. I was doing my own thing, building my own company, and trying to share my knowledge and trying to get more people, whether it's boys or girls, to focus on ICT because I see ICT as a field of the future. And for me, it's something that, in terms of raising children, I don't have children yet, but when I do, I know that whether you're a boy or a girl, you're going to learn exactly the same things. Like she said, her son learned how to cook. My dad taught my mom how to cook. Yes, because he used to be in the kitchen with his mom, learning how to cook, and he was the only one from his 14 brothers and sisters that actually spent time with his mom in the kitchen. This has impacted his life. It has impacted the life of his wife. It made sure that we got food on the table, right? And up till today, on weekends, he goes into the kitchen and he will cook. And he doesn't see it as, oh, I'm a man, that's why I shouldn't do this, or, you're a woman. Everybody can do, what they're good at. And I think those are the things that you should focus on. We look at the best hairdressers in the world, they're men. The best cooks in the world, they're men. So let's focus on our skills, let's focus on the industries that we're in and impact people. Let's give back and let's pay it forward as well. I think that's really, really important. Let us also look down and pull people up. And, whether they're male or female, to me, if you're good, and you know, you deserve to be at the top.
Well, I have promised that we're going to keep to time. So quickly, we're going to be rounding off now. What would be your word to women of the future, or women who are aspiring to raise people, not just women? Let's just not, you know, narrow it down to us, even though this is about us here. What will be your word to them? Just quickly.
Well, what I would say is we live in one world, whether ideal or unideal. There's no space in this hall that has been designated for only women, and there's no space that has been designated for only men. When you drive on Asaba Road, there's nowhere they wrote for men only. There's nowhere they wrote for women only. All I can say is encourage everybody to be good at what they do. You have to work very hard. It's universal. The problems we face as women are the same problems men face. It's just that women are very vocal. That's why we are protesting. We don't want to sit in one corner and allow people to do everything. The problem that has limited children, I think from my own experience, is taking care of our children. Most women would rather sit at home and take care of their children than stay at the meeting till 12 midnight till 1 a.m. But I think that now we can put a domestic infrastructure in place and make sure that other people take care of our children while we pursue what we need to do.
Thank you very much. Well, Omaomi, you also have a word in terms of what women of the future should be looking forward to.
Well, please, sorry. I'd already prepared some fantastic speech.
We're looking for towards what women of the future should be looking at. If I want to raise a woman of the future, what should I be telling her? What should I be, you know, if I'm a mentor, what am I going to be telling my mentoree?
It's to just constantly tell her that you can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. You can. There's nothing, the person who is doing the thing that you feel that they are using it to get ahead does not have two heads. It's to come out and work hard like never before. That's it.
Well, we promise we'll keep it brief and concise. So you see, you have the floor, the last words.
One of the things I'd just like to quickly say is that the woman of the future is a woman who understands the significance of weaving the web of powerful women without in any way diminishing the men in our lives. So number one, we need to understand that when women learn to support each other, the men will have no choice. Because the truth is that good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere. And I don't mean bad girls like contextually bad. I mean bad girls are the girls who understand that they go for the jugular without sleeping with any man. If you sleep with a man, he will give you 50,000. If you are brilliant, he will pay you 1 million. Because every woman has a vagina, not every woman has a brain. So number one, think about hiring a woman before you hire a man. That way we can increase the number of employed women. Number two, think about patronizing the business of a woman than the business of a man. That way we can increase the number of women entrepreneurs. Number three, think about nominating a woman before you nominate a man. That way we can increase the number of women who are making a difference. Because the truth is, men do not want confrontational women. Women must understand there's a thin line between arrogance and confidence. Men will naturally get along with women who know how to rub on their ego, massage it to get what they want. And we must learn to play like a woman and win like a man. I thank you very much.
Well, we couldn't have summarized it better. There you have it from my very, very beautiful panelists. I've had Funke Buknobruthi, MD Zafire Events. Thank you for coming. I've had, you have to pardon me, Dr. Ufuma Okotete. She's MD Diamond Helix Medical. I've also had Mrs. Nkendelim Bego. Thank you so much for coming on. She's Managing Director of Future Software Resources Limited. I've also had Mrs. Helen Imore. She's Project Director of Wari Industrial Project Park. Beg your pardon, Miss Imore. Thank you. Omaomi, God bless you. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much for listening to The Future Women and what we have to say. Thank you. Amaokwe Ogun.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for them. Wonderful, wonderful panel. I'm particularly grateful to God that Ms. Kentile Bero just told us, just told us that the father was a very good cook. He's still a very good cook. Yesterday I cooked.